Okay, on your bed, Murphy. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys kind of a 6-month review on the Skytrak and what my build out was. Super happy with it. I don't really have that many complaints. The quick layout, so I have 9-foot ceilings, which works for me. I'm 5'11". I do make, actually my friends make a couple of follow through scuffs a little bit on the ceiling. I don't at all with my irons or my driver, but a couple of my buddies are like 6'3", 6'4", and they don't have a shallow swing, so they finish high and they'll sometimes scuff the top. Doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Murph, on your bed. Go get on your bed. Good boy. So 9-foot ceilings is doable. Would recommend a little bit higher, obviously. 9'6", 10 foot would be perfect probably for anybody. I wanted to do the high definition screen. So the wide screen, the 16:9 ratio. So I got my impact screen from Carl's online, which is fantastic. I got the premium one, and it's been great. Obviously, you can see how clear it is. I had to shrink it down just a little bit, so I am 8 foot vertical by 14 feet horizontal, and I put like 1-inch channel kind of around as my structure, and then just use little easy bungee cords all the way around through the little eyelets. You can get anywhere, Jerry's, whatever, and it works great. Keeps the net taut, which I think is much better than a lot of the ones that just kind of dangle. A lot of people leave the bottom dangling and it's all wrinkly. I like it nice and clear. So then like in front here, I just got this cheap AstroTurf from Jerry's or Home Depot, pretty much just to dampen the ball from bouncing as much. Obviously if you hit the concrete, it'll bounce pretty good. But it just keeps the ball, dampens it when it drops, and keeps it clean, because you don't want dirty balls hitting your net and staining the impact screen and then staining the impact screen. So, and then the hitting surface here is the 5x5, what do they call it? The Town and Country one. It's like $300 or $400, but it's worth it. Some people online will say that they get their elbows start to get tender. 6 months, I've never had an issue. My friends have never had an issue. It's pretty soft when you hit it. So, you know, for me, it's been great. I know there's a lot of other options out there. As far as behind, to keep the ball from like bouncing back, because originally I had that problem because the net was so taut that, especially like with my driver or any of the hybrids, you'd whack it and it'd go bing, 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 and it'd bounce back pretty far. So I ended up using like a 2x4 and screwing in an old comforter, heavy comforter, and it's just pretty much as wide as this black ceiling I got here and draped down, and that helped a ton. So now it's like whack, and it'll kind of drop here, and you may be able to just stop it with your foot. Obviously it'll roll a little bit. Could do a little better with maybe some more softening up front, but it works great. And for the lob shots, because I'm 6 feet out here to hitting, my lob shots will hit the ceiling up here. So I just got this 3/4 inch foam from Amazon. Works fantastic. So it'll either hit here, then the net, and then drop, or some balls will hit the top of the screen and then bounce up here and then drop. Either way, it's saving the sheetrock, not denting the sheetrock, and it's soft. It's not making a loud sound, so it's works great for me. So that's kind of I'm still working on a border, like kind of a black border. I put it on the bottom here, this 1/2 inch foam. A couple of the low driver shots I topped kind of went right through it. So I'm still working on a better kind of a frame. Even though I never hit the metal, it's just, it would be nice to have it all enclosed in black. And I don't really need anything on the sides, although that would probably look cool to kind of be in a little black enclosure, but I don't really need that. So, and as far as the Skytrak, it has been amazing. People talk about, you know, dialing it in, getting it super straight. For me, I just put it on the, you know, center the bubble on here so you know the tilt and lean is on. And honestly, I come back here and I eyeball it to make sure I'm somewhat pretty perpendicular here. And then I'll take a ball, put it on the dot, and I'll just hit a couple of easy ones to try to hit the dead center on the line. And as soon as I do that a few times, as long as it's tracking down the middle, because that's where I'm hitting it, then I'm good. And I make sure my hitting zone is directly in line here with the center. I've done the thing where you bring the two dots out and you align the sticks, and it's just a lot of, if that's accurate, which I think is questionable. A lot of people online say that's not even accurate. I prefer just watching the ball. Put it on the thing, hit a few easy ones, try to just hit the line there. You know, you can do 3, 4, 5, as long as you hit that line, or if it's missing right, it's going to show you right, you're dialed in. Other than that, as far as missing your swings, it's superb. It doesn't pick up a ball. Usually when it's something really rare, like you'll toe it big time and someone will just toe it and the ball will go way over there, it'll miss that. When we're playing around, that's a freebie. So a couple of those it won't pick up. And then some tricks, if you're using like a lob wedge or something where we're going to have a ton of loft, then you need to make sure to put the ball about an inch or an inch and a half in front of the red dot. So the sensors are all in the front here. So if you put the ball in the front of it, when you lift off, since it has such a high launch angle, the Skytrak will pick that up much better. And it does great. It does great. As far as driver, same kind of a theory there, is move the ball about an inch behind the red. And a couple of things. So I used tees at first and ended up snapping a bunch of tees because that's what you do. I use this little white insert and it lasts for a while, and then I just ended up breaking a ton of them. So I got these little plastic, I don't even know what you call them, cones, and I got them in white, and the Skytrak has trouble reading the ball, white ball, on a white cone. You know, because obviously the cone goes flying. I think it's struggling to figure out, like, what is it supposed to be tracking. So I was going to throw them away and get a colored set, and then I ended up just like putting electrician's tape around it to black it out. So now I put that a couple inches behind, put the ball on the tee, and I'm ready to drive. And no issues. Works fantastic. So a couple little tips. Again, I've had a ton of fun with this. It seems to be damn accurate. On my distances on all my clubs, I'm not the best golfer and not the most consistent. But when I go out on the range or I go out and play, this is as accurate as it is. The only thing I could say is I had a couple buddies who were really good come down and visit, and they noticed on the long clubs, so even the hybrids work great. You know, the 3 hybrid was 200, 220, and my buddy was going 230, which is what he shoots with that. But the driver is a little short, 20 yards-ish is what we found. That's a little short on the driver. And, you know, again, teeing it up about an inch or inch and a half behind, you know, a guy could play with it. We tried to play with it, moving it forward, back. It just seems to not get quite as long. And honestly, the Skytrak itself seems to be more accurate with the driver than the TGC. So when we're on the TGC and you're on the driving, or you're on the T-box, and you drive and you really crack it, and it's a sweet drive, you know, it'll come up, you know, 230 or 240, and it should be much further, especially when you know that you hit it 280, or 260 to 280. So that's the only thing that doesn't read great. Other than that, it's been fantastic. It's improved my game. I've never used a hybrid in my life. Brought that out on the course actually this last summer and didn't want to swing it. It was so bad. Spent 3 weeks in here, maybe not even that much, swinging it, and now I'm out using it on the course all the time, and I'm, you know, shooting it 210, 215 yards, pretty dang straight. So for the people who don't think that this is gonna help your swing, they're crazy. I mean, as long as you're out here using it, repetition, muscle memory, you know, it's gonna improve your game. As far as the TGC, when we're putting, that's a little bit difficult. So I've got it dialed down, you know, where you kind of have an idea of the speed to go. And my friends will come over, and it's the same thing a couple of other videos said that I watched. You know, they'll hit it too short or too long, and it blows by the hole, and it's like, oh crap, well now they've, you know, double bogeyed the hole when they probably shouldn't have. So what we end up doing on the TGCs, we just set it for, you know, within like 2 yards, you know, 6 feet, it's a +1 gimme. And then, you know, within like 10 yards, so 30 feet, we're doing like +2, you know, kind of a thing. A little bit more realistic, and you don't have to worry about putting. You know, I don't have the situation to have the best putting grounds in here. And, you know, putting seems to be feel a lot, and I can do that on the range. I can do that, excuse me, when I'm playing. So for me, we just don't use the putting. We just do the gimmies. So other than that, the garage setup works fantastic. Like I said, oh, one other thing. So like when it won't pick up. So told you about the white cones that have trouble picking up. Plus, anything in the background that's shiny or white, it won't pick up very well. So you have the ball down, and it won't pick it up if you have other clubs, shiny white, anything in the background. So I ended up moving some stuff out of the way when I first got it and hooked it up. I was having trouble. Cleared out the background, fixed the deal. It's fantastic. So I love the brightness of the screen. I have the Projector, the Optima 1080p Darby. Again, got that on Amazon, hooked it up to the ceiling here, squared it up and all. It's not super bright, so I like the screen to pop. So I wanted the lights off and some sort of spotlight. So I ended up getting just what do you call it, like a narrow beam light from Jerry's Home Depot. I think it's only like 50 watts or something. It's not even that bright. And then put it in a cone kind of ballast. And then honestly just took some cardboard to extend the ballast or the cone and extended it down so it just kind of makes this ring and it doesn't get any of the light on the screen. And as you can see, I mean, it works fantastic. There's no lights on in here except for the one spotlight and the projector. And then over here in the corner, I got a little heater because it does get cold here in Oregon. So I am super happy with this. Definitely recommend it. I mean, I still need to do a few things in here and need to change some stuff, but so far really happy with it. And I'm going to do another video on just the TGC 2019. Been playing that, trying to get more people over to play it so we can have more rounds under my belt. There's some things that kind of bug me with it, but it's freaking awesome. But I can do another video on that and show kind of the review of what I think on that, maybe get some changes. in the future on some of the firmware updates or downloads. So anyway, if you have any questions, input, if you like it, don't like it, have any ideas that I can change, let me know. Any ideas about how to put the black around the border that would, you know, be soft, be great. I tried to ask a couple guys to actually put a little 2 or 3 foot sliding like black on both sides, just to kind of blacken it. I think it would look cool. And the guy never wrote me back. He said he couldn't figure out where he got it, but it was like heavy duty drapes, black drapes, blackout. Black drapes, like 10 footers, you know, so 9 foot ceilings. So I'm thinking about maybe doing that. Again, don't need to. And one other thing, so the screen, even though it's the Carl's Premium, the light I think kind of goes through it a little bit, because if you look around the corner, you can see the back of the wall. It's, you know, it's somewhat bright. So someone did recommend to even make it even a brighter screen is to put a black drape behind like a blackout drape behind the impact screen, so no light goes through it. So it really shows up even more. So that's an idea. So anyway, that's kind of what I got, guys. Super happy with it. Recommend it. Dude, definitely get the Skytrak. Garage is awesome. I love the huge screen. Plus I'm out of the house, which is nice. I can come out here, dog's chilling on his bed, got the heater going in the middle of the winter, and I can work away. So if you have any questions, please write. Love to hear from you. And let me know if you'd like any more detail on any of this stuff, and go from there, all right? Thanks.